Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to go over the big news coming out of Roundhill for their new WeeklyPay ETFs. Very exciting. But before I do, I'm a young, ambitious YouTuber with everything to prove and nothing to lose. So please smash that like button for the algorithm gods and hit subscribe so you know whenever I go live where I talk about finance, news, stocks, investing, or if I publish a new video like the one you're watching where it's mostly just informational in nature. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into it, guys. So recently in the community, we had Alex, keeper of the ETF filings and update records, come out and say, hey, there's been an update to Roundhill. Roundhill just published a brand new update for their WeeklyPay ETFs, and they're adding a bunch of new ones. So let's take a look at that. So here, and I'm going to include a link down below in the description, all right, because I know in a couple other videos, a lot of people are asking where I'm getting all this information. So again, I will put this link down below in the description, or I'll put it down below as a comment. If you want the latest information on these filings and updates and news, because I do cover a lot of news, as you guys can see, I cover a lot of news that comes out for stocks that you might be investing in, come join the Discord, man. Come join, talk with us, chop it up. Don't worry. If you like one fund or over another, you're not going to get banned. You're not going to get kicked out. Okay, we're all just investors trying to collaborate and trying to make money. All right, but anyways, here are some of those big names that are coming out, and this is really, really exciting because there is one in particular that I'm really looking at, and I did mention it before. Really, there's two. But, let me go over these. So we're going to have weekly pays for Airbnb, for ARM, which is a semiconductor, ASML, another big semiconductor, and AVGO, right? Broadcom. These are all going to be weekly payers. All right. You have Costco, CrowdStrike, DraftKings, Robinhood, right? Robinhood weekly pay. That's pretty cool. And we're also going to have, and this is going to be probably the most popular one in my opinion, the Roundhill MSTR weekly pay ETF. If you're a big fan of Misty, or a big fan of MSTR, or you just like the stock, then this might be something you want to consider. This is something I'm considering for my own portfolio. I do plan to release a due diligence video on this in the future. Okay, so MSTW, that's coming out. Netflix, we have Netflix in here. We also have Reddit. We have Shopify. I don't know what Spot is. We have, I think this is going to be Taiwan Semiconductor, TSM. We have Uber and ExxonMobil, right? So these are very exciting. But how do you actually use them, right? How would you include these in your portfolio? And when are these coming out? Well, I believe, according to this document, they should be coming out May 16th, okay? I can't guarantee that. All right. I don't know. There's nowhere on this document that says, hey, they will be available on Robinhood, on this date. But, you guys can come check out this document for yourself so you can get kind of that better idea. But really, this is giving you 120%, 1.2 times exposure to the underlier, which is, that CrowdStrike, that MSTR, that Uber, maybe that Broadcom or ASML. And they're going to pay you weekly. A lot of these stocks do not pay a dividend. So this is, if you really like the stock and you want to make some income on the side, then this is a great alternative in my opinion. All right. You guys know I'm already in PLTW and NVW. This is for Palantir and this is for Nvidia. I'm very bullish on both of these stocks. These play into my whole AI thesis thing. So I'm really bullish on these two companies, and they have been paying every single week without fail. But the distributions are very, very chaotic, sporadic, up and downish. It's not consistent, okay? Because there has to be momentum behind the stock. There has to be bullishness behind the stock. If it has a bad week, if it's just constantly heading for new lows, then your payouts are not going to be that great, right? But if there's momentum behind the stock, if something is pushing the stock higher, then that's going to create a better dividend payout. Okay. PLTW has been on an absolute rip, and their dividend per share has been increasing in value. As you can see down here below, me and Alex are just talking. We are so excited about these new Roundhill ETFs. So I had to get this news out to everybody else. Okay. So this is what they currently have. They have PLTW for Palantir, Nvidia, Tesla, right? Whoever's been holding TSW, man, you guys are killing it because Tesla is on an absolute rip right now. They jumped, I think, from $280 a share to $313 or $330 a share. Wild. So you guys are going to get paid out very well. There's also one for Coinbase and Apple. All right. So this is pretty much it. You guys can check this out. But how do you use these instruments? How should you view these instruments? All right. You have to be careful when you invest in these things. They're not cover call ETFs. All right. And I know that because if you scroll all the way down, it tells you right here. Does WeeklyPay ETF sell options? The answer is no. Okay. They do not. All right. These offer uncapped levered upside to their underlying reference assets, i.e. Palantir, MSTR, Alibaba, Airbnb, etc. Right? Tesla. So I like that. And I like the idea of being able to get weekly income. That is a big deal to me. So this uses that, swap contracts that we covered in an earlier video, somewhere down here, swap agreement risk, right? The swap contracts. So this is, again, YieldMax just implemented this in their own funds. So I would surmise or assume that a lot of YieldMax funds are also going to benefit from this in some way, shape, or form, possibly to help with that whole, NAV story or that NAV, reputation that they have. Okay. Not saying YieldMax is bad. All right. Put your pitchforks away. Okay. So there was a video, and shout out to Passive Income Investing because he actually emailed Dave Maza, who's the CEO of Roundhill, some time ago about these ETFs. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, go check him out because this was a really good video. But he asked him, what was the deal with these? And this was Dave Maza's response. The weekly distributions are calculated on the performance of the stock. So you need to have a good week, all right? If the stock has a bad week, the weekly distribution would be less than that of a strong week. And Palantir has been really, really good, right? I can imagine something like MSTR being really good, especially if we have a really epic bull run for Bitcoin. So we would expect the WeeklyPay to underperform a type of cover call strategy when the underlying stock performs poorly, given that they are 1-2x levered on the downside, which we know, right? You're 120% exposed to the underlier. These are meant to be bullish instruments, all right? I cannot hammer that hard enough. And even here, Dave Maza is explaining this. There has to be momentum behind the stock, all right? You have to be bullish on these. You shouldn't just buy these because they pay you weekly, all right? They do not sell away upside like the cover call strategy does, and therefore will outperform those strategies when the underlying asset performs well. So going back to my portfolio, I do have cover call ETFs. I have XDTE, I have XPay, I have Chippy. All right, these are cover call strategies. And yes, the upside is not exactly all that sexy, but the payouts are pretty decent. They're pretty good. However, with NVW and PLTW, I'm getting both uncapped upside and I'm getting some type of weekly income. So I really, really like these weekly pays from Roundhill. They were the first, in my opinion. I don't know if this is true. I mean, if someone can debate this, let me know down below in the comments. But Roundhill was the first ones to come out with weekly pay leveraged ETFs. Then Defiance came out with their MST version, which is a play on MSTR. So again, a lot of Misty holders were excited about that one, and I've been seeing videos of people jumping into MST, but I knew about MSW well in advance. These other weekly payers well in advance, because again, shout out to Alex. So I was waiting for this weekly pay to drop, and it looks like it's finally dropping. So very exciting, very just very good news. Like this whole week has just been excellent news. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end the video here. I don't want to drone on and drag this video on. If you got a lot of value, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, guys. Comment down below. I read every single comment. I enjoy reading comments. All right. I even enjoy reading the hateful comments. Some of you guys are way too into this whole finance, yield max versus everyone else game, or your favorite ETF over these other ETF game. Like, guys, it's just finance. All right. It's just finance. We're all just trying to make money. With that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.